What a surprise. Here we are again, getting our cheeks clapped in broad daylight. What are we going to do about it? Nothing. When are we going to do it? Never. In the words of George Carlin, it's a big club and you ain't in it. 2021 is already shaping up to be the most lit year of all time. And every single day seems like a constant reminder that money, power, and greed run the world, and everybody else is just like, please, can I have a piece of bread? I certainly hope that this is the wake-up that the world needs to start paying attention and take some action on things as we get bent over the knee every single day and clapped in broad daylight with everyone there to see. Meanwhile, they rob our pockets, poop in our cereal, and set our house on fire on the way out. Because every single day it becomes more and more clear that the only threat to the global power structure and the elites that run our lives and run the entire planet is a well-communicated population of rational, logical, and thoughtful people that talk to each other about how to change the world for the better. Because the more that you think, the more that you share, the more rational and logical you become, the more you realize how blatantly obvious it is that they are just goosing all of us right in front of our face. Because just in case you forgot, the game is rigged. The most blatant and obvious example of this is how the United States ships billions of dollars overseas in foreign aid when we have people struggling here at home. We have people going hungry in the United States, we have a crumbling infrastructure, we have unfunded liabilities and over $28 trillion of debt, yet we still manage to ship billions of dollars overseas that don't benefit us directly. That makes sense, that's fine. The people don't get bailed out, but Wall Street gets bailed out. The people that got their businesses shut down, they don't get any relief, or they get very little relief far too late. Yet we still have time to ship money to plenty of people overseas, and these are the representatives that represent us, that we pay our employees. Cool. The sad thing about all this is that us not paying attention and not being aware and not really focusing on the things that matter when they matter is largely responsible for this. Because if you got your eyes closed and they're taking stuff out of your pockets, well, you got to open your eyes. And man, they're doing a really good job, and it's just like, it just absolutely blows my mind that like all these people are mad and they see all these bad things happening, and then they just to shift the blame to the wrong people. They blame the people that are following the rules instead of the people that set the rules in the first place. Like you think people out there like John Kerry, and you think like Joseph Garban, you think these people care about you? You think the people that are in the back pockets of the bees, of the billies, you think that those people care about you? Yet you cheer for them, you vote for them. Finally, peace. It's like, dog. Okay, you're digging your own grave, Pop. And don't get me wrong, Cornbread. I'm not saying that Team Red is any better. I'm saying, quite frankly, it's kind of goosed on both sides. It's kind of goosed on all sides. But again, the responsibility again comes back to us. If we choose not to pay attention, if we choose to fight over each other, what did he say on Twitter today? Rhetoric. Meanwhile, they're in your backyard taking all your stuff, and we're like in the front yard like, rhetoric. The pure existence of big government and centralized power, especially ones that's run by fallible individuals that can be bought off with money, power, and influence, that's what's running the operation. Yet somehow people think that these politicians, the one that get financed by all the billies, that they're going to act on our behalf. Like, the whole game is goosed. So it's like you're going to go and give more power to this exact same structure that's largely responsible for setting the rules that clap your cheeks. They're setting the rules. Now, don't get me wrong, urban Mexican street corn. I'm just saying that we should be voting for not big government. We should not be supporting large government, centralized power. That restores more power to the states, more power to the individuals, more power to the people. If we're mad about this structure and all the people that are goosing us, again, think about the people that are making the rules and refereeing the game, not necessarily the people that are winning it, the people that are exploiting those exact same rules. Because really, in a lot of ways, they're both to blame, but who's more to blame is the referee and the one who sets the rules, makes the rules, and most importantly, enforces or doesn't enforce the rules. People are out here celebrating how they voted for the establishment candidate, the Billy class candidate, the big corporate, big Wall Street candidate, Joey Corporation. It's like, yo, that's your oh, equality. Oh, we'll all be free. Oh, it's like, dog. It's like, are you looking at the same thing that I'm looking at? Like, look at Nancy Pelosi. Like, this woman's out here, her husband's placing Wall Street bets, just destroying it. Like, all right, this woman, okay, like, you're celebrating these people, okay. And I'm not going to sit here and cheer Donnie. I think Donnie. I'm just saying, if you just look at the difference between these two people, just pure and simple. You have a guy that's been in the federal government structure since he was 28 to 30 something years old and has gotten rich off of it, made tens of millions of dollars and increased his net worth heavy-handedly. And then you have the guy that comes in as a Billy, comes in after a successful career, being out in the free market, being a free citizen and individual. And it is more than evident that this guy lost a tremendous amount of his net worth as a result of being in public service. Not to mention the fact that he didn't take a dime, gave it all away to charity. It's just like, you got the guy that got rich off the system, you got the guy that lost handsomely from the system. I'm just saying, just compare those two things. I'm not saying that one is necessarily better than the other. I'm just saying, look at the cold hard facts of these two individuals. But whatever, we don't need to look backwards. I'm just saying. Johnny only cared about his pockets. Oh, really? Is that so? This guy lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Not to mention the fact got disparaged in every single mainstream media source around the entire planet. The vast majority of people on the earth loved this guy. He was in hundreds of rap songs, was featured on television, like was widely celebrated across the entire planet. And now his name is tarnished and disparaged in theory for the rest of his life. And these kids, it's like, okay, like I said, just look at the facts. Just look at what happened. But whatever, that's okay. Yeah, look at the Basement family. I mean, look at them. They seem to be doing okay. Whatever. But what I find the most tragic about all these realizations, and what to me are just more than obvious truths, is that people are out here not paying attention. They're out here focusing their anger and frustration at the wrong people, at the wrong things. Here we are getting mad at each other and disparaging each other and fighting red versus blue. Meanwhile, the guys and gals that are really benefiting from this, follow the money. The people at the top, they're just laughing at all of us as we're out here yelling about the stuff in the front yard while they're taking everything out of the back. I mean, that is the lesson here. It's like, if we don't pay attention to this, if we don't get aware of this two-party system, left-right paradigm, we don't even understand that meanwhile we're both getting goosed. That's the lesson here. That is what is actually happening. But if we don't pay attention to it, if we don't talk about it, if we're not aware of it, it'll just keep happening forever. So in the spirit of 2021, I'm going to come in with that big flip-flop, big tank top, big Florida, big dolphin energy, and hit you guys with some solutions instead of just complaining about the problems. The biggest and most addressable problem that can be solved by each and every one of us is to open more conversations with the people that you know, like, and trust, with the people that you love, with your friends, with your family, and with your social media connections. Open the conversation, share this type of content, encourage people to do more research, talk about this, pay attention, do more research, share, and communicate with each other. Next, you need to realize that absolute power corrupts absolutely, and if we just centralize all of the power into a gigantic federal structure that has absolutely no accountability to the little guy, we lose in perpetuity now until forever. We need to focus on more accountable, smaller government. I don't even know how many times I need to repeat this. Smaller government, less money, less power, less authority in the hands of the centralized federal government. Vote, think, act, and speak, and support liberty, personal responsibility, freedom, and smaller government, please. Next, you need to stop thinking that taxing your fellow Americans or stealing their money, like tax the rich, eat the rich, take a poop on the rich's lawn, and take their wheelbarrow, that is not a solution. You need to realize that we need to reduce the expenses in the government. We need to reduce the power and the bloated nature, the bloated overspending nature of the federal government structure. The answer is not to tax, steal, or take any more money from your fellow American citizens, your fellow hardworking American brothers and sisters. The next thing you need to do is you need to vote with your dollars and vote with your attention. If you stop watching the mainstream media, they don't have those eyeballs. If they don't have those eyeballs, they don't get those ad dollars. If they don't get those ad dollars, they have to shift up their operation. If you just change the way that you vote with your money and vote with your attention and vote with what you choose to talk about, support, and endorse, the shift begins there. Stay aware, stay woke, have conversations, talk with more people, open conversations, share content that you like, support people that you like, support creators that you like, support small businesses in your local community, and vote with your attention and dollars. Do more research, and we can change this thing. At least we can start there. This guy's not funny anymore. Thin Mints. Eat the rich. Oh, crazy. Cookie butter.
Donnie Ball Game.